Madridistas, the Club World Cup just ended a couple of days ago for Real Madrid, and unfortunately, Real Madrid fell short, ending it in the semifinals. It was not the result that I wanted, but at the same time, I do think that we learned a lot about this team, a lot about Xabi Alonso too. I think there's a lot of positives that we can take away from this tournament and a lot of things that we can work on too. Guys, let me give you my final thoughts on the tournament as a whole. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let me know your final thoughts too in the comments below. But let's start with some of the new signings for Real Madrid. And number one is a signing that I was very, very excited when he was coming into, and I am talking about Dean Howson. Dean Howson, to me, had an absolutely incredible tournament. It was 5 fantastic games for him with one horrible moment, in my opinion, against BVB, picking up that red card. But other than the red card, and even the red card, we still kind of question it, right? We still kind of question it, but it is what it is. I thought this guy was absolutely perfect, was by far the best center back that Real Madrid actually had out there too. And really, is going to be a mainstay in the starting 11 for Real Madrid for years to come. This is a guy who is only 20 years old, coming from a Bournemouth team too, that a lot of us, did we even think that this guy would be on our radar? Not me. I love what I was seeing from Dean Howson out there. Not just what he offers in terms of like the center back position too, but how much he progresses the ball. That is something that we have really been missing for a while too. A lot of you guys were saying, Dino, he might be Dean Cruz. He might be Dean Cruz because how much he's always looking to move the ball forward, progress the ball forward. And I really like what I was seeing from Dean whenever he was playing in any of these games too. And he was playing 90 minutes in so many of these games. Very, very excited about Dean Howson, not just for now, but for the future too. I think this is going to be a mainstay in the starting 11 for years to come, at least 10 years in my opinion. Absolutely love what I was seeing from Dean Howson. Let's talk about the next signing. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent had an interesting tournament overall. He does get injured before the PSG game. Was he looking to avoid that game? Probably not. I just think he actually picks up an injury. We don't really have any details. He just probably picked up a knock, and he wasn't 100% fit to go against that game. Would it have made a difference against PSG? Probably not. Probably not. Same thing with Dean. I don't think it would have made a difference with Trent and Dean both not being out there for the PSG game. Maybe the scoreline, but I think we probably lose that game, unfortunately. Either way it was. But with Trent, he does pick up 2 assists in this tournament too. I think there were some things that I liked about Trent out there and some things I think we still need to be working on too. The thing with Trent, he's always going to kind of be a defensive liability. I did think there was a couple of times in, maybe that BVB game that I thought he was actually doing pretty good too. He was going against the Adeyemi out there. He was going against a Guirassy out there too. And I actually think he was being pretty good defensively too. He is somebody who's probably going to get caught with his pants down a couple of different times, unfortunately, especially when we're going against elite wingers out there too. And maybe I'm being a little nice to Nico Williams out there too. But I mean, if we're going against a Rafinha or something like that too, he's probably going to get caught a couple times. The good thing is when it comes to La Liga, there's not that many times that you have elite wingers that Trent will be going again week in and week out, anything like that too. And I think overall we will be able to dominate possession. The thing I like about Trent though is I think he was getting more and more comfortable as the games went on, as the tournament went on too. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see him against PSG. I do worry about him defensively. I think at times we might need to be rotating Carvajal, and maybe what we do too is maybe we actually move Trent up a little bit more, and maybe he's more of like the midfield or something like that too. I could see that as a possibility, and maybe you bring a Carvajal on once he's fully fit. Even though Carvajal got some minutes in this tournament, I don't think Carvajal is fully fit or anything like that. I think Trent overall, he's going to offer a lot for Real Madrid. I just don't know the profile that he has. Being able to whip balls into the box for crosses and stuff like that. Vinny is not somebody who heads the ball. Kylian Mbappe is not somebody who heads the ball too. Jude might be. And I think really that Trent's going to be a very big benefit from some of the set pieces that we have, the corner kicks and stuff like that. That's really where I think he's going to be getting some of the assists too. I'm very curious to see what Trent looks like in the future for Real Madrid. I'm very curious to see how the season goes for Trent. Learning Spanish, learning the system of Real Madrid, really adapting to the culture and just the ask that he's actually going to be asked to be in the system. I think it's going to be something very interesting to see. I don't think it was the best tournament in the world for him. I thought it was okay. He had some good moments out there, but I'm very excited to see him in the future too. The players one of the players that I actually thought had a very good tournament and is somebody who should be getting a lot more minutes this season is Fran Garcia. I thought Fran Garcia overall, I thought he was good. I actually thought he was really good. He actually got a man of the match or supreme player of the match or whatever. I don't even know what they were calling it. It was a weird. He got a man of the match award in one of these games too, where he actually got a goal against BVB. I thought it was a very, very good game for Fran in that one. But overall, I thought he was really good. And here's the thing. I know a lot of you might be saying, well, in the PSG game, he got absolutely cooked. He can only do so much. When you have a Hakimi running down the line, when you have a Desiree Doué running down the line at you too, and both of them are running at you with no help, no matter who the left wing is, whether it's a Kylian Mbappe or Vinny Jr., you're kind of screwed. You were kind of screwed. Fran Garcia is never going to be somebody who I 100% trust defensively. The good news is we have Alvaro Carreras coming in very soon. I already talked about that. You guys can check out the video here talking about my thoughts on Alvaro Carreras. I think having Fran out there, who's kind of going to adapt and be a little better and better and better, I think under the Xabi Alonso system, I think he's somebody who's going to be benefiting a lot more than he was under Carlo Ancelotti. I was happy with what I was actually seeing from Fran Garcia out there, especially knowing that we didn't have a backup in this tournament. We had no backups out there or anything like that for Fran. So I was happy to actually see him. I thought he did pretty good. He does get a goal in this tournament too. And I'm excited about the future for him too. I think Alvaro Carreras, we're spending about $50 million on him. I understand it's in installments and everything like that. I just think that this guy's probably going to come in and be the starter too. But I would be expecting Fran to be playing a lot of these games too. Whether it's them flip-flopping and maybe Fran starts half, Alvaro Carreras starts half, or maybe one of them is getting subbed on. I think it might be something that we see a lot more. I don't trust Mendy at all. He is just so injury prone and anything like that. Maybe he fights back into the starting 11, but I liked Fran Garcia a lot more last year than I did Mendy, and I really liked what I was seeing overall from Fran Garcia in this tournament. Somebody who should now, in my opinion, be considered a mainstay in the starting 11 is, in my opinion, the surprise of the tournament, the MVP of the tournament, and that was Gonzalo Garcia. Gonzalo Garcia absolutely burst onto the scene for Real Madrid in this tournament. 4 goals and 1 assist. He had a goal and assist in every single game except for the PSG game. This guy was super, super reliable and is really a body type and a profile that we don't really have on this Real Madrid team that I really like. He's not the tallest guy in the world. I believe he's 6'1", so what is that, 1.85 meters, something like that? Guys, I'm in America. I don't always use the meters, so bear with me if I get that wrong. But I really liked what I was seeing from Gonzalo Garcia. Not only was he finishing off a lot of these attacks too and getting into areas that we don't normally get into, actually being an option for a ball to get crossed in from an Arda Güler, from a Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think there's a lot of things that I liked from Gonzalo Garcia, so much so that I think right now he's probably the backup striker, no matter who it is, if it's a Kylian Mbappe, if it's a Vinny Jr. out there too. And even then, I think there might be games that we should be starting Gonzalo Garcia too. I was calling for him to be getting the start in the PSG game. And I don't think right now that you can be starting Vinny and Kylian Mbappe. I'll talk about them here just a little bit. But I very much liked what I was seeing from Gonzalo Garcia. He needs to be a mainstay in the Real Madrid squad moving forward. I do not want us to be selling him or anything like that this offseason. Unless you get like 80 million, 100 million. I mean, if we got 80 million, 100 million for him, I'm not saying that's happening, but then I would sell him. But otherwise, you have to be keeping this guy. I think he's a very, very big part of this team moving forward. So much so that it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Endrick. Endrick and Gonzalo Garcia are completely different profiles. They do both play the striker role. It's just a different ask from them. I've seen the reports out there too. Maybe Endrick can come on and play the right wing. I don't know. I don't love that. He did play it at Palmeiras. Granted, he was 16 when he was doing it, 17 when he was doing that too. This guy's only 19 years old when it comes to Endrick too. Is he going to develop 100%? And a lot of you have been asking, say, we need to be loaning him out, Daly. We need to be loaning him out. Well, the thing is, I went back and looked a little, and I said, okay, well, the players that we've actually loaned out of Real Madrid to go somewhere else who have come back to Real Madrid, how many of them have actually been good? Realistically, not many. The only 2 I could really think of is a Martin Odegaard who actually got loaned out before, and then eventually we did sell him off to Arsenal, and then a Brahim Diaz who got loaned out too before. Those are the only 2 players. So many times when you actually loan out a player, they don't come back and become a mainstay starter in the Real Madrid squad ever. It really rarely ever happens. Even the 2 players I just mentioned, we sold one of them, and Brahim Diaz is a rotation piece at best. I just feel like if you spent all that money on an Endrick who didn't get that many minutes last season with Real Madrid, I just don't think you can loan him out. How do we fit him into the system too? I'm not 100% sure. So I'm not against loaning him out. I just think that when we think about loaning him out, we need to be thinking about that. If we loan him out, is it just kind of a waste? Because at the end of the day, If he's not going to be getting minutes, I do think he needs to be getting minutes somewhere else. But I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. So what do you think we should be doing with Endrick? I think it's going to be something that we're going to be talking about a lot more moving forward too. Somebody who we probably won't be talking about, though, a lot more moving forward is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is now off to go get surgery. It's going to be a 3 to 4 month recovery, which means he will be back midway through the beginning part of the La Liga season, maybe even when the Champions League games start, stuff like that. We will be missing Jude Bellingham for a while. And this was really something, I think, retroactively, when we actually look back on it, we're saying Jude Bellingham, he probably should have got surgery a while ago. I think it's easy to say that now that we know the results of the Club World Cup. But at the time, let's say if we would have won the Club World Cup, I think we would have been saying, good job not getting the surgery, right? If I could change things now, I think after we were out of La Liga, after we were out of Champions League, I think a couple of months ago, maybe beginning of May, I think maybe that's when we should have actually got the surgery for Jude Bellingham. Unfortunately, we delayed it so much. It is now mid-July. He will be off to get surgery probably in the next few days. And again, he will be out 3 to 4 months. So we're looking at mid-October, early November maybe, by the time Jude Bellingham is actually fully able to be back for Real Madrid. So it's not going to be somebody we're going to be talking about a lot moving forward to. What's going to be happening with that position? I think maybe an Arda Güler might be able to step in to that more like an attacking role, something like that. We have a Franco Masantuono who's coming in very soon too. This guy's only 17, moving to 18. I don't know if he's going to be somebody we can 100% rely on. I could see Brahim Diaz getting a lot of minutes in there too. So there's going to be some options that we have. Unfortunately, I do think we're going to be missing Jude Bellingham out there a lot. I know a lot of you guys are kind of up in the air with Jude. Sometimes you think we're going to be better. We will see. We will see. I only want Real Madrid to win. I don't really care who is starting for Real Madrid. But I do think that we are a better team when Jude Bellingham is fully healthy. And unfortunately, it's been a long time since Jude Bellingham has actually been fully healthy. Last year, he was dealing with a shoulder surgery issue, and really depending on when we should be actually doing it too. So I'm happy that he's finally going to be getting that surgery. But it's going to be interesting to see how does Real Madrid actually adapt to him not being out there. I think that's going to be something we're very curious to see what happens with Real Madrid. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, though. And somebody that we've been saying you can't forget the R, guys. Well, unfortunately, Xabi Alonso seems to forget the R, because I'm talking about Rodrigo, who looks more than likely to be getting sold this summer. Apparently, it's going to be up to Rodrigo if he's going to be sold or not. But this was not a good tournament for him. And somebody who actually thought he could make an impact. Unfortunately for Rodrigo, 92 total minutes in this entire tournament with only one start. And again, I feel like he will be 100% sold. Why exactly will he be sold? I don't fully understand it, to be honest. I think that we can't be doing the 4-3-3 system. I think the best system that we had was probably the 3-5-2. So at best, Rodrigo would be coming off the bench. But even then, I would not mind Rodrigo coming off the bench, or maybe even starting some of these games at that left wing position too. Maybe sometimes at the right wing. I wouldn't mind that too, unless we are getting 100 million for Rodrigo, which in my opinion is something we should be able to get. If some of these players, if Noni Madueke is going for 60 million, something like that, we saw Gittins going to Chelsea for like 55 million and stuff like that too. I feel like that we should easily be able to see Rodrigo. Even when I'm talking about it, Wirtz went for 125 million euros to Liverpool. I understand Wirtz is a little bit younger than Rodrigo and stuff like that, but Rodrigo, in my opinion, I'll just say it now, I've said it many, many times, if he actually moves to a good Premier League team, or a Bayern Munich or something like that, I think he would be the best left wing in that league. I actually think that. I don't think that's that crazy to say. I think that he is an extreme, extreme talent too. He's been playing out of position before. I think if he's over at the left wing, if it's for Chelsea and Arsenal, Liverpool, something like that, I think he's the best left wing over there in the Premier League. Honestly, I really feel very confident in saying that too. I might be wrong. Who knows? I think Rodrigo's a big talent too. I think it would be a tough, tough blow for us to actually lose him. And if we would get the money for him, let's say it's 100 million, where do we re-put those assets? I think center back would probably be the number one ask, and I think another midfielder. I think if you can maybe spend 50 million to 50 million and actually do that with the assets too, I think that's what Real Madrid should be doing. But we will see what happens. I hope Rodrigo stays, but guys, let me know what you think of Rodrigo in the comments below. One of the players who is so happy about Xabi Alonso coming to Real Madrid is Arda Güler. This is somebody who apparently last year, Arda Güler was, I guess what was happening is Xabi Alonso was trying to get him at Bayer Leverkusen. He was saying, dude, Carlo Ancelotti, if you're not going to be using this guy properly, that's the key thing here. then let's bring him over to Bayer Leverkusen, and I can start getting comfortable with him, and when I come to Real Madrid, we can just bring him back, and we can be ready to go. Arda Güler started 5 of 6 games in this tournament to 1 goal and 2 assists, and in my opinion, he is the starter moving forward with Real Madrid too. I would love if he actually gets the number 10 kit. I still think Kylian Mbappe will be getting that number 10 kit. Just my opinion. I would love for Arda Güler to be getting it, but that's just my opinion on that. But Arda Güler is actually playing closer to what he should be playing. That's more of a ball-playing playmaker. The more touches this guy gets, the more times I want him out there too. Whenever he was playing for Carlo Ancelotti before, he was playing that right wing. And that's not where he should be. Toward the end of the season last year with Carlo Ancelotti, we actually started seeing Arda Güler a little bit deeper, playing a more like a floating 8 sort of role, sometimes a 10. I really liked that from Arda Güler because he was able to actually play with players in front of him, create opportunities for attackers out there, and also he's not afraid to take a shot too. Absolutely love Arda Güler. In my opinion, he should be starting 75% of the games moving forward. He is, in my opinion, 100% a starter moving forward to, if anything, at worst, he is the first name off the bench for me. Very, very happy with Arda Güler's entire tournament. Again, that PSG game, nobody was really good in that one too, so I'm not going to take anything away from that, but very much excited about Arda Güler moving forward in this tournament. The 2 players that I am annoyed about, I'm kind of pissed about, is Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. I believe it is Vinny's birthday today as I'm recording this now, so I hope he's not watching this, because I thought it was a pretty piss poor performance overall in this tournament too. And these are 2 players that at a time, if you go back last year, I ranked number 1 and number 2 in the world in terms of best players in the world. At a time, I actually was saying Vinny Jr. was the best player in the world. I don't even think he's top 10 now. I don't even think he's top 10. The fall off that Vinny Jr. has had from that Champions League run, which should have been the Ballon d'Or run for Vinny Jr., is something to be studied too. I don't know if that was somebody peaking at the wrong time, and maybe this is just the norm for Vinny Jr. Maybe he's just somebody who has so much skill, but at the same time, just cannot ever get it together, right? Maybe it's that. And then when it comes to Kylian Mbappe too, it's just, I think he's an incredible scorer. I really do. I love Kylian Mbappe too. I think he's fantastic at times. But the issue with both of them is they don't play team football right now. And right now, in my opinion, it is an ego off. It is who can be the lazier person out there. And it really, really pisses me off. It was not something that I like to see when we were out there too. I understand when we go down 2-0 against PSG that you just got smacked in the mouth within the first 10 minutes and you're trying to figure stuff out there. I understand that too. But whenever they are out there, I just think they're lazy. And I don't want to be blaming it on the heat. I don't want to be blaming it on anything other than just attitude. I really think it comes down to attitude with these guys. And really, they just need to either put their egos to the side, put their pride to the side, and play team football, or somebody needs to be sitting their ass on the bench. And I'm not afraid to be putting both of them on the bench too. Because if you are not willing to actually play team football and work with the Xabi Alonso system, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for either of you, or both of you too. You actually have to be willing to adapt to, and it 100% can work. We see what happens with a PSG. Go back and watch that game, and just watch Dembele press. Press. That's all they do. They make you uncomfortable. And it's not always about winning the ball back. I'm not asking Vinny Jr. or Kylian Mbappe to press, tackle the guy, win the ball back, get the ball, go score. It's about making the passer uncomfortable. So many times we're just pseudo-pressing. What do I mean by that too? We are just pretending like we are going to press. And what happens is the midfield just be able to just run around and do whatever they want against us too. Vitinha had over 100 passes in that game, and he's just walking right between Vinny Jr. and Kylian Mbappe out there. And it's never, ever difficult for him at all. You have to make the opposition think about where they're going to be passing it. Make them nervous out there too to be able to make this pass, or just make them uncomfortable. That's all it means to be pressing too. It's just an attitude thing. These players have the speed. They have the physicality to do it. It's just an ego thing. I just think they're just lazy. I just think they're lazy at the end of the day. And that's just not going to work for Real Madrid. I think we might be able to get goals. We might be able to get individual brilliance. But when it comes to actually winning Champions League, when it comes to winning La Liga, maybe we can win La Liga with this too. But it's not something that's sustainable. They have to put their egos aside. They really have to just wake up. You just have to wake up too if we want this to be successful. So it is what it is. Xabi Alonso, final thoughts on him. The thing with this tournament, and even though it was a disappointing result against PSG, 100%, Getting our ass kicked 4-0 was not something I ever wanted to be seeing in this tournament at all. But here's the thing with Xabi Alonso. How many games do you think we've seen him as coach? 10, 20? 6. We have seen him coach 6 games for Real Madrid. He doesn't have the full squad back. Endrick is not back. Camavinga is not back. We don't have Franco Mastantuono yet. We don't have Alvaro Carreras yet, too. Jude Bellingham is hurt still. We have so many players that we don't have back yet, too. I'm also forgetting Militao just coming back. Alaba coming back, too. This is somebody who is just getting their feet wet at Real Madrid, just understanding the players that we actually have. He's only spent like a month and a half with these players so far. He's still trying to understand, where can I be putting these players in the best position for us to be actually successful too. So when it comes to that, and when you face a PSG who has had Luis Enrique there for 2 years now, which is a finished product, I'm not that surprised that they beat us 4-0. I'm not. I think there were very good moments so far in this tournament too. I think there's a lot of things that we can work on. That is why when it comes to this tournament as a whole, I think it's a beneficial thing because Xabi Alonso, he was able to get familiar with some of these players. And now we get to go off on holiday and Xabi Alonso can kind of dictate and say, okay, you know what? I don't need a Rodrigo. Let's sell him and let me get another midfielder, guys, and let me go get another center back or something like that too. Let me go get a couple more players too. Let's move some players to here. Let me go watch some of this tape too. Because I understand a lot of people are saying this was a glorified preseason tour and stuff like that too. I don't think so. A lot of these games, we're actually playing ones versus ones out there, starters versus starters. I think this was a very, very beneficial tournament, in my opinion, for Xabi Alonso, getting familiar with the players, understanding what needs to be happening for Real Madrid to be successful this year. Not only this year, but years to come too. I think this is something that when we look back on this tournament, I am hoping that we can look back as a positive and not a negative. It is unfortunate that we won't have a preseason tour or anything like that. We don't have the most time off before La Liga starts. But overall, I was happy with the tournament. I was happy that we were able to understand some things. We got to see a lot of really good things too. And there's a lot of stuff we still need to be working on too. But guys, I'm very hopeful for the season, for La Liga, for Champions League too. A lot of things need to be changing, but I do think that we saw a lot of positive things. So guys, I want to hear from you in the comments below. What did you think of the tournament overall? Who was your MVP of the tournament? Very curious to hear from you. If you made it to the end of the video, hit that subscribe button, like the video. Guys, Dally with Dallyfc. Cheers. Al Madrid.